Today I want to do a quick overview of the 8 finalists for the 2024 A Hero Rises Voting Gauntlet. It was a brutal year of powerful units, and everyone is about to get one of these units guaranteed. If you don't know what's going on, at the end of February / start of March, an in-game Voting Gauntlet event is going to take place. The winner will be given to everyone for free later in March. We have a couple weeks, but you might want to start planning your orb savings now because the top 4 participants will be in a banner that is sparkable up to 4 times. Even if your favorite doesn't win at all, if they make the top 4, you can guarantee them on the banner. For this reason, winning round 1 is the main fight everyone's gunning for. Some people want a free copy of a preferred unit, but generally it's agreeable that the winner and the top 4 banner should also have good skills to fodder. That is something to take into account for this event. In 8th place, Attuned Peony is our only rearmed or attuned hero on the list. She can be used for fodder and you will still keep her, which is excellent because Peony is a flying axe dancer. She's the only way to get Attack Oath Echo, which is a solid attuned skill for self buffs and warping. As a support unit, Peony's dance provides field buffs to all stats, the warp status, and Kanto 1 with the potential to spread it to multiple allies. Kanto on any unit type is great utility. Rock Slide Dance also gives plus 6 speed and defense field buffs and dodge, plus Peony herself will gain Kanto 1. From her weapon, Peony has a cross spur type effect with plus 5 attack and speed and plus 5 healing after combat. She has cross spur speed to stack it with. Peony's axe has sling, stats, and some damage reduction, but she is still mainly a support dancer first and foremost. For fodder, the new demote Lara has Rock Slide Dance 2, which makes it much easier to grab all of Peony's tier 4 skills and Attack Oath Echo. If you don't have her, Attuned Peony would be a fine winner since more dancers are always good to have. Even with extra copies, you still keep her, and I assume she is going to be the only way to get Attack Oath Echo anyway. In 7th place, Wind Tribe Claude is an explosive green flying dagger unit. Claude gains no follow-up and no panic statuses, plus has uncapped bonus attack and speed the more active statuses he has. Claude can give himself 3 status effects thanks to Oath 4, and this also allows him to proc Lethality immediately. The more status he has, the more instant cooldown he gets. This even applies to his follow-up attacks at a reduced rate, but if you can get 6 statuses, then the follow-up is also a Lethality proc. You can only stop Claude with Scowl or somehow disable his status effects. If the instant nuke wasn't enough, Deep Star will give Claude an immense 80% DR on initiations, and it works on brave hits. After combat, he gains a status for the same amount on enemy phase, and lays down AoE gravity while having counter to retreat. This fort status will then proc Prime Force Close Counter. Claude has insane burst that is way too easy to activate, and he's not easy to take out even if you survive. For fodder, it's now possible to take Lethality with all 4 tiers of Attack and Speed Prime. For the non-dagger users, you can get Prime 4 with Oath 4. Our 6th place unit is Dual Ninja Sanaki and Micaiah. Sanaki is a nuking red mage cav with a slaying dual phase brave tome that also gets dominance true damage and DR piercing. The DR pierce amount scales with the total number of stat deals on the foe. Sanaki has a tier 4 sabotage and ploy skill which total up to minus 20 stat debuffs. This will give her 80% DR pierce with a very real chance at hitting 100%. Even if the main target can cleanse their debuffs, Sanaki will count debuffs on nearby foes, so incredibly punishing. Dominance will add some true damage, and Ploy 4 has exposure. Both of these get double value from the brave attacks. For safety, Sanaki has built-in fart rays, and the usual ninja dual skill that is an extra action gale force. She has flared mirror to lay down the flame tiles, and arguably can become even scarier with Occultist's Strike. In 5th place is Winter Dimitri, high attack and speed cavalier who gets Kanto 2, slaying, and will self-buff for attack and speed with the no follow-up status. Dimitri gains extra stats based on his speed stat and has 7 HP healing after combat. His weapon grants instant cooldown based on the number of spaces he or his enemy moves, and you will have 4 active status effects will automatically give Dimitri minus 3 instant cooldown. From his B skill, you got Atrocity's huge true damage on hit with 40% DR and some debuffs. After combat, inflict minus 6 debuffs in a large area, and Dimitri gains Vantage and Dodge statuses. Panic 4 will also provide the full penalty Delver status. Basically, if Dimitri moves 2 or more spaces to initiate, he instantly procs his special. In the next enemy phase, he self-procs Prime Force Distant Counter and has Vantage and gains minus 3 cooldown instantly. To complete the playstyle, No Quarter is a DR piercing special scaling off attack. It's not the strongest damage-wise, but it's available to sword, lance, and axe users, infantry, cavalry, and flying classes. That is a lot of units in the game, and if you cannot get DR piercing other ways, No Quarter is sort of just the new best in slot. With 5 inheritance slots, you can now also pass on No Quarter and all 4 tiers of Attack and Speed Prime. Fourth place is going to go to Mythic Gullveig. This is the Colorless Mage Cavalier version, who is sort of just an update on the Brave Vault. Very high attack and speed with no follow-up, and excited specials with no guard. She has 70% DR for one hit and some healing after combat. If Gullveig can survive, she gets an extra action from her weapon. This has a 2-turn cooldown. Additionally, if her Time is Light special activates, then it also grants another action. Gullveig can get 2 actions every turn and 3 actions every other turn. This ranged Gale Force playstyle synergizes with the Flared A skill plus Poison Strike 4 B skill combo. Flared Strike will inflict 14 instant damage. With the extra action, if Gullveig fights foes on flame tiles, she will get 21 instant damage, and you can do this again if in the right scenarios. Having teams stack instant damage skills just got a whole lot more dangerous with the current Valentine's inheritable weapons. Dual Leon and Legendary Camilla crank out even more instant damage to boot. For fodder, you don't need 5 slots to take all of Gullveig's entire passive setup. Pure damage set that you can now run with the devoted Basket Plus Red Tome. Our third place unit is Legendary Female Alear, one of the most creative main game to Fade transitions. Despite not transforming, she is considered a green infantry dragon. This is because Alear's Dragon's Fist in Engage does magic damage, so they use that for this kit. This Alear is the only brave attacking dragon, and it works in either phase. She has Slaying, a bunch of stats if you fight near allies from different titles, and 40% damage reduction that will work on AoE. Her Dragon Blast special requires ally support, which means if Alear wins this whole competition, at the very least if you face her in AI controlled teams, she's not going to be at full power. With her support on the team though, Alear and that partner gain full DR piercing specials. Additionally, Alear can get unpierced with damage reduction similar to the armored type specials. For her passives, Pledge is still exclusive to Alear. It grants breath type cooldown and self buff, so you can make some pretty interesting setups. Alear can use it to ready her special in one action and proc finish for his benefits. Nelsie Disrupt adds some % DR to its anti-fire sweep effect. With 5 inheritance slots, you can now grab the entire finish for A skill and attack and speed Pledge since it upgrades from 03. Our second place unit is Legendary Camilla, who is an offensive green flying mage. Camilla has all the good initiation tools like Slaying plus no guard, offense no follow-up plus lots of attack and speed, and then a couple % DR skills with after combat healing. However, like the new Dual Leon, Camilla inflicts massive instant pre-combat damage with the highest scaling always applying if she outspeeds. To add to her burst, she provides a 50% DR piercing status to the team. Currently unique to Camilla, but useful to quite literally every unit out there. In addition, her B skill even provides long range speed and res and sabotage status support. For more chaos, you got Deadly Miasma, which is a player phase skill that inflicts -5 to all stats, neutralizes field balls, and deals 7 out of combat AoE damage after. This is kinda Savage Blow 4, but only for flyers. This skill also leaves behind Divine Vein Haze terrain, which inflicts the same debuffs the user gets. Camilla has Conto 1 to retreat behind her Miasma after she nukes a target. With DR piercing becoming almost a must, it's no surprise Camilla is near the top here. Despite being first place in votes, Winter Edelgard is arguably the underdog. She has been in the last 4 A Hero Rises events and has lost 5 times. That's some fame math right there. I would say she's been the most controversial character every year she's been in. First year, OG Edelgard is not that great and is a permanent unit. Second year, Brave 80 actually is good, but if you wanted her, you literally could have picked her for free already. Third year, Fallen Edelgard 100% deserved her top 8 spot, but is a permanent unit, not the best fodder. Fourth year, Harmonic Summer Edelgard again deserved her spot, maybe niche fodder, but However, last year, Fallen Edelgard was also in the top 8 again. People did not like that. While the main voting on the website is one thing, the in-game event is another. Edelgard has failed to make it past the first round every time. For 2024, Winter Edelgard checks off most of the boxes people want from the winner: limited time unit, meta, and hilariously great fodder this time. Lance armor with jacked min-max stats. She is focused on being solo, but has the tools to do so. When alone, she inflicts tons of attack and defense debuffs and gains 100% DR Pierce on all attacks. Like Dimitri, Edelgard gains instant cooldown for number of spaces moved, plus she has Slaying. If the foe is on a Divine Vein Flame tile, she automatically gets -3 cooldown. After you initiate, apply 2 rows of 5 space-wide flame tiles. If 80 has weapon triangle advantage or the foe is on a flame tile, she also neutralizes miracle type effects, not the special though. From her Raging Tempest B skill, she gains 2 movement and Assault Troops 3 movement in a line. She can now activate her Raging Storm action or extra action if next to one ally. Absolutely absurd kit, and like her summer ult, despite the various conditions, she's way too easy to use. For her instant special proc, 80 has Armored Blaze, which is the bonfire with unpierced with DR for melee. She was the only holder until Valentine's Ephraim. She is so busted, they gave her defense res ploy 3 because her res is high enough, and what else is she gonna run? You then have attack and defense prime 4. Edelgard cannot get the 4 statuses for DC without ally help. She literally is just flexing her luxury skills out here. With a lot of the current game being untankable nukes, Winter Edelgard provides some high mobility offense with extra action abuse like Gullveig. She can run Galeforce if you want, however be aware that the new Mirror's Warp Bubble can mess up Assault Troops' 3rd space movement. Regardless though, just a ridiculous unit, and maybe 5th times the charm, or is it 6th I guess. We have some time till the Voting Gauntlet, and we do not know the bracket setup just yet. However, last year we had standard seeding format with 1st versus 8th, 2nd versus 7th, and so on. Intended systems can rig the matchups however they like, but if we do standard seeding again, here's how it's going to work. Remember, I would say first round is the most important. If your pick wins the first round, you can at least spark them on the top 4 banner. The Voting Gauntlet is unpredictable, so higher voting placement doesn't mean anything when it comes to a clear winner. Additionally, all the people who voted for other units now have to pick a side, so really the team sizes can change a lot. Let's talk about some potential top 4 banner outcomes. First, we got 1 red, 1 blue, 1 colorless, and 5 green units. This means we are guaranteed 1 green hero between Camilla and Claude. Honestly, no complaints there, either of those two would be great. With this seeding, if you wanted both of the units in a matchup on the same banner, sadly, someone's gonna get dropped. Now, the funny outcome would be Edelgard losing again. Surely this time she'll make it out. If you're a believer in the all-green dream team, then 80 has to lose. 8th place Peony has to pull off the upset, although again, really feels like Edelgard is the true underdog. Dimitri and Alear will have to win their matchups for this green banner outcome. If you want a clean color spread, that is possible this year. Edelgard, Gullveig, and Sanaki have to win. This would also give us a sort of extra action Galeforce type banner. If you think tanking is dead, maybe this lineup's for you. Sanaki has to use her dual skill, but I say it still counts. Now, for the boring outcome, here's the top 4 just in terms of votes. I don't think it's going to be this predictable, but this would give us 2 legendaries and a mythic. For a heavy damage reduction piercing banner, the house leaders have made their influence. Camilla and Alear share DR piercing capabilities for teammates, while Dimitri has no quarter. Edelgard and Sanaki can get 100% DR pierce for their attacks, and Claude's instant lethalities should honestly be illegal. On the defensive side, if the house leaders win, we got 3 prime force skills. Fun times if you can figure out a status supporting team. Alear also has no Disip for anti-fire sweep, and in general does sort of have a defensive playstyle option if you use her distant counter seal. At the end of the day, everyone's getting someone good, although you're going to have to face them in battle potentially as well. This year was super crazy in terms of strong units. A Hero Rises is still partly a popularity contest. If people like the character, they may just want to try for a free copy. It helps when the character is extremely good, hence our house leader assembly is no surprise. Interestingly, I think Alear is our oldest unit in the top 8. She was at the end of August. Last year, Dual Crom was 3rd place in voting, and he was out for a whole year. For Mortis released right before the voting began and ultimately ended up winning, I think they wanted to avoid a repeat of that because I have a feeling a lot of people would have voted for Emblem Marth. I guess we'll see if next year's event will have multiple emblems in the top 8. That's going to be it for now. Who will you be voting for, and are you gunning for the unit themselves or just juicy fodder, maybe on the whole banner? Start prepping for those orb stashes if you plan to summon. I usually like to summon on these banners, but I'm not going to have many orbs thanks to our current banner. We'll see how things turn out next month. Thank you for watching, have fun when the event starts at the end of the month, we got some time, and I will see you guys in the next video.